but he still got his going on a session and then drinking through. Hello everybody and welcome to another video on Jazzy and Steve. It's been a while, I've had a bit of a break. Paul's been keeping us up to date with bits and bobs which have been going on, but last week was my birthday and I've had my birthday weekend and it was Father's Day. So I just thought I'd jump on and just have a little bit discussion or a little bit of crack about the rumours, the contract talks that were going on, the fixture leak yesterday. I know Paul did a video on that, or I think we did it on TikTok. The documentary about the playoffs, which I'm sure had everyone in tears because it did me. And talk about the season ticket sales so far. And basically, and before we do that, obviously hit the thumbs up and subscribe if you're new, please. We're now a Premier League channel, supporting the mighty Red and White Wizards. And of course, this video is brought to you by Tyne & Garage Doors. Where to start? Season ticket sales. Let's start with that because it's nice and positive. We have set aside 39,900 and something seats to be sold. And last time I checked, there was around about 39,000 being sold. So there's only a few hundred left, if what I saw was correct, which I thought would be the case. Obviously, Premier League football. There's a lot of people come back, left in League One, left in the Championship, but they've come back. I'm not going to be one of these ones that whinges and has a go-yous. I mean, welcome back, but you know, if it doesn't get all hunky-dory, then piss off again, you know what I mean? But obviously the main reason why people have come back is because of the teams we're going to be playing. Obviously we're going to have a better team. We're going to have the best team we've had in probably 10 years this season, hopefully, speaking, you know what you've got to do. But the fixture leak that came out yesterday, I can't stop touching my face. Oh, by the way, I know I look like George Dawes. For those of you who don't know who George Dawes is, ask your parents. It was doing me head in, so I got rid of it. Plus, this is me summer fiasco, but I don't like it, so I'll be going it back. Yeah, last year the fixtures got leaked for the Premier League a few days before, and they turned out to be right. Now, the Premier League fixtures got leaked yesterday, I believe it was. The full season's worth, might I add. And it's interesting. It's an interesting read. Like I say, I know Paul did a video on TikTok. Our opening game, I believe, was down as West Ham at home. We knew our first game was going to be at home because the second week of the season is the Women's World Cup at the Stadium of Light, so we kind of know we're going to be at home first game of the season, but they've got down as West Ham. But the most important one that everyone obviously looks out for first is Boxing Day against the Mags at the Stadium of Light. Now, I'd say the people who've seen the leaked fixtures have all said absolutely no chance, the police wouldn't allow it. But you've got to bear in mind, it doesn't make a difference what day it is. We know it's going to be an early kick-off, because they don't want the pubs to be open as long as they are, so people can get that tanked up before the game. So I can believe it being on Boxing Day, I really can, because the pubs aren't really open on a Christmas Day. Plus, although people do drink a lot, it's all family time, it's not really, you know, going on a session and then drinking through. But regardless of that, we know it's going to be on Sky, and we know it's going to be an early kick-off. Will it stay on Boxing Day? That's if these fixtures are right. But will it stay on Boxing Day, or will they move it to the 27th or the 28th for TV purposes? Obviously today's Tuesday, the actual fixtures are confirmed tomorrow, so we'll know more about it. Are these leaks true again, or are they just a load of shite, basically? But yeah, the big one is that Boxing Day, Sunderland and Newcastle at the Stadium of Light, and then I believe it was April 25th or 26th at St James's Park. Like I said, they're out tomorrow, so we'll find out for certain. But if that is right, I'm not sure how I feel about it, because someone's Christmas is going to be ruined. If that is the case, I'll have a mint day on Christmas Day with your family, and then Boxing Day, one set of fans is going to have their Christmas completely ruined. But like I say, we'll wait and find out tomorrow. There will be a video tomorrow about the fixtures, once they're confirmed. But of course, we wouldn't have these fixtures in the Premier League if it wasn't for the playoffs and how spectacular it was. Now, I know me and Paul did a video and we said, we're having a break, which I think we deserve it, you know what I mean? But that documentary came out last week. I believe it was Thursday or Friday when it came out. If you haven't watched it yet, get yourself on the SAFC YouTube, the actual official Sunderland AFC YouTube channel, and watch it. It's 52 minutes long, and it's basically just Sunderland have just videoed the progress through the playoffs, speaking to a few players and all that, watching them in training, watching them in the academy, how cool and relaxed they were, how they were preparing for the playoffs, and obviously it shows you the games, the goals, and it was great to sit back and enjoy it because we knew the outcome, if that makes any sense. Obviously, during the playoffs, it was all pretty edgy of seat stuff. You were nervous, you couldn't sleep, you shit yourself, basically. But now we know the outcome. I was watching it, and it was good to watch it relaxed. I mean, I shed a few tears, but you know what I'm like, I cried out. But it was good to relive it. It really was. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I know Paul did. It just shows you through the classic moments. And like I say, it speaks to Reggie, Dan Ballard, Dan Neil, Chrissy Rigg. Basically how they prepared, even had them getting the haircuts in and all that. And it was like, it's something different that you don't normally see from football clubs. So like I say, if you have seen it, let us know what you thought of it in the comments. And if you haven't, go on to Sunderland FC's official YouTube page and watch it. It's called Till the End, funny enough. I didn't say that coming. But now the main purpose, oh no, not the main purpose. Well, we're going to move on to transfer rumours. But as you know, Sunderland get linked with every man and the dog, every transfer window. And why would this one be any different? Now we're going into the Premier League. Now, before we get into the transfers, there is contract talks. The club has confirmed they will be holding transfer talks with Dan Neil, Dennis Serkin and Romain Mundle. We know Dan Neil's only got 1 year left in his contract, and last season he was the lowest paid player in the start 11, on basic wages, that is. And I think Serkin's got 1 year left as well. I think Mundle's still got 3 years left, but they want to improve the deal because of how important they see him being for the squad in the Premier League. Transfer rumours. Rumoured in, wait, not rumoured in. Obviously, we know the Enzo Lafay deal is done and dusted. Cosweek is concrete promotion, and that triggered the clause that we had to sign Lafay. Is that a bad thing? Is it shite? Absolutely class. Welcome, Enzo Lafay. But of course, we know that's not going to be all we're bringing in. As you can imagine, we're linked with every man and the dog. There's some names in there which are really, really stupid. I'll read the list out. These are the ones that are most spoke about, or the ones that have had more paper talk or online stuff, if you know what I mean. Some of them I didn't even know, and you'll have to excuse the pronunciation. But Otar Kilishvili from Sturm Graz, Matija Freegan, striker, we've been linked with him for a while. Amad Diallo, I wish. Joe Gomez from Liverpool, no thank you, he's made of glass. We've got enough of them. Tommy Doyle, midfielder from Wolves, now I have him. That one's really strong, links. Wilfried Singo is a centre-back or right-back from Montpellier. No, I'm full of shit. He's from Monaco. Now, when we got linked with him, my boys went straight on FIFA and looked at his FIFA card, and he's absolutely rapid. He's built like a brick shithouse, and he's rapid. So, yeah, I don't think he would be a bad investment. Mobido Sagnan from Montpellier. He's a defender as well. I think he's a Bali international. He's a big unit as well. John Henson from Ajax. We all know the rumours behind that. Although the club have denied, saying that there's no one in talks with them. I think that's a no-brainer. I think we should be going for him immediately. Leader on and off the field, and could be the difference, especially bringing on our youngsters. A loan deal for Man City playmaker Charlie Gray. That one's been getting some heavy transfer talk as of late. Duj Kaleta Carr, defender from Lyon. Used to have a pretty beard like I did. But he's still got his. That one's been in the papers quite a lot of the last couple of days. Sam Johnson from Wolves and Harry Toffolo from Notts Forest. Although, by the time this video goes out, I do believe I read that Toffolo might be going to somewhere else. But that's just a few. We're also linked with Charlie Creswell and is it Lennon Miller from Celtic? But I'm not too sure how, if that's just agents spreading their names to try and get a bidding war or what, time will tell. But that's the ones we're linked in with. On that list, I think Tommy Doyle, the Charlie Gray, because I know the teams know that we play youngsters, so they'll get playing time. Obviously, we're being linked with Jayden Dans, you know, our superstar loan signing for Liverpool in January. Whether that'll come to fruition, I do not know. Now, as we know, on the exit door, Watson and Job have gone. Brilliant bits of business, if you ask me. Absolutely brilliant bit. Watson left us an amazing parting gift with that £220 million goal at Wembley. We're getting 12 million for him, or 10 million, whatever it is. And Job, as we know, has gone to Borussia Dortmund. Now, none of these leave with a bad taste in my mouth, you know, not at all. I wish them the best. I really do, especially because if they do mint and then they get sold for even bigger fees, we get a lump sum of that. Job came, he's had 2 brilliant years. We've watched him grow. And I'm sorry, when you've got the opportunity to go and sign with someone like Borussia Dortmund, especially when you grew up there, kind of, when your brother, we not grew up there, but spent a few years of your life there because your brother was playing for them, I think it was a no-brainer. And like I said, the money we're getting for him is absolutely tremendous. Was it 33 million euros or something daft like that? I wish him the best. But now the money that we've got in, from, especially from them two signings, needs to be invested correctly. Which, let's be honest, although quite a few people have snagged Speakman off and that for the signings they've made, but they haven't really let us down with the players they've brought in. There will be one or two, obviously, but we've got to trust them because they haven't let us down yet. And let's be honest, they had a 5-year plan. We're 4 years into it and we're in the Premier League. So the end of the 5th year is to stay in it. Can they do it? I believe they can, but time will tell. Dan Neil, these are people who've been rumoured to be leaving or teams interested in. Dan Neil, I know we're going to have contract talks with him, and of course he's our captain, Sunderland born and bred. Everton and Roma are sniffing around Dan Neil. I believe the price of 15 million was being banded around. Hopefully not. But money talks. But hopefully our contract talks with Neil are better. Now, Adel Al-Shish and Bar, Ekwa, they've all been on loan. Ekwa got relegated, but apparently he was still their best player, or one of their best players, and they went down. So he's not going to be making the permanent switch, but I don't expect, unless he comes back a completely different person, because after he got that dead leg, he wasn't putting the effort in my eyes. Like, he got affected by a dead leg, and then his performance has massively dropped. I'd expect to see him on the way out. I'd expect to see Abdullah Bar on the way out. And as much as I like Al-Shish, I believe he might either get loaned out or sold because he wants more playing time. It's as simple as that. Joe Anderson and Zach Johnson. Joe Anderson hasn't been involved much at all since he's came to the club. Turned down a loan in January, I believe it was, and then he played one game at the end of last season, and I think he was our best player on the pitch. Is he going to feature much, especially if you look at that list of players I mentioned before? How many defenders that we are linked with? Because it looks as though that's one of the ones we're looking at shoring up. Is Anderson going to get a look in the Premier League? I don't know. He's still young. Is he going to get sold or loaned out? Time will tell. Zach Johnson, he's still only a young lad. He had a successful loan out last season. I'd expect to see him get loaned out again. Jensen Seelt, I like him. I think he's a promising player. Problem is, he's like many of our other players. He's made of glass. Are we going to cash in on him or loan him out, try and toughen him up, or will he feature? We don't know, but I know he's been rumoured to possibly be looking at the exit door. Lewis Hamir, Semedo, whatever you want to call him, didn't have a very successful loan at what they call Juventus All-Stars, or I didn't know what the hell they call them. But I think he scored something like 1 goal and got 2 assists or something stupid like that. Don't quote us on that. But they're not going to sign him, and he's coming back to the club. I'd expect to see him either loaned out again or sold. Nazari Rusin never settled in with Sunderland. Never really settled in. We're getting a couple of goals out of him. One, the most important one that we remember was probably against Borough 2 seasons ago now. But he's been loaned out. He didn't have a successful loan spell, so the club he was on loan to isn't going to be basically making the signing permanent. So he's be coming back to Sunderland, but I'd expect to see him leaving to go back to one of the countries over there in the east. Leo Yelder. Now, Leo Yelder, very much last season, he was a squad player. Came on, he had some good performances, he really did. He's very popular amongst the squad. I don't know if he's going to... People have talked about him possibly leaving on loan or leaving to get more game time. They're saying, is he going to feature much? But is he all right to have as a squad player? He's still young. We're coming from Leeds. He's still young. Apparently, he's very good around the squad. Well, if you watch that documentary, you'll see he's very popular and he's always very involved in the laughs and all that. And let's say he has had some good performances in him. But can you see him feature in the Premier League? Let us know what you think. I don't know if you'd keep him as a squad player. But I think we're going to have to see who we bring in and how deep we get this squad. Matty Young, goalkeeper, had a successful season last season at Salford. He's still young, but he's brilliant. And I'm expecting to see him go out on loan again. Hopefully to maybe a championship team this season. I think that would be better for him rather than going back to League Two. Although I'm one of these people who believes a shot stopper is a shot stopper. If you can stop goals in League Two, you can stop them in the Premier League, you know what I mean? But I'd expect to see Matty Young go out on loan again. And then these two, there is teams sniffing around them, but they can piss off. So you've got Chrissy Rigg. We know he's linked with everyone. You know, the brightest people. We've had all sorts of teams looking at him, but Man United are probably the strongest. Because Man United are doing a rebuild with youngsters. And they're heavily rumoured with Rigg. I think Rigg will stay at Sunderland. I really do, especially for another season. but he is linked with other people. As you'd imagine, 17, and let's be honest, he's made a good name for himself so at this early stage in his career. And West Ham United, who we are rumoured to be playing first game of the season, they're sniffing around the bloke who hates Sam Fender. That's right, Eliza Mayenda. Now, they can piss off with him as well. No, Mayenda, since we've signed him, he's come from strength to strength. The first year he wasn't ready, went on loan to Hibs, did nothing, didn't hardly play. And then last season he started flyer, started like brilliantly at the start of the season. Then kind of got injured, sat on the bench for a bit when we got in Isidore. And then he finished the season strong. He's fast, he's strong. And let's be honest, he loves the club. Absolutely loves the club. And I'd be furious if we got rid of him. Do I believe we need another striker to come in? Yes, I do believe we need someone with a bit more experience because Isidore and Mayenda are both very, very young. I would like to see a bit of an experience, but I'm not talking like your 30s and things like that, but someone a bit more experienced, someone a bit more wise who can help bring them on more. And that's about it. That's about it, really. That's all I want to mention. I could get transfer rumours you can on all day. That's just a brief chat on the transfer rumours and contract talks, the fixture league, but obviously we'll talk about that more tomorrow. The documentary from the playoffs and season ticket sales so far. Everything's hunky-dory. Everyone's still buzzing off the fact that we're back in the Premier League. Tomorrow it gets a bit more real when the fixtures are confirmed. That's about it. That's about it. Let us know what you think of the transfer rumours I've talked about, what you thought about the documentary, and we'll see you in the next one when we talk about the fixture list. Back in the big time, back in the Premier League. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. Don't worry, I'm growing up back. How are the lads?